You know what? This is going to be very silly, but I'm immediately going to mute myself. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Hey, man, how's it going? All right, let's get started. All right, we know that the downside of Kate is that he's going to be unblockable basically the entire time. Let's see. How that feels. Forgot he does still respect his own cooldown. That makes it easier. That would have been the real version of this fight to be scary, as if he shortened his own cooldown. Oh, I see the stream went down for a second. But thank you all for the well wishes. I appreciate you. I will read chat after this. I did not boost before this fight. I perhaps should have. Would have helped get around the lack of, or the class disadvantage. Oh, come on. Yeah, you guys might want to restart the stream then. I did see it drop out. Okay, that was my fault. Whoa, that didn't feel like it. Okay, well, that's right there why we didn't boost. Hi, Saraghost. Maybe I should look into enabling notifications. Oh. Thanks, Venom. Excuse me. Thanks, Venom. Loved Gamora on this path. Yeah, that was my next thing I was going to try, honestly. I was going to try both her and Kate and see how they felt. It does seem like it would be tricky specifically on Sauron to land the heavies, but we'll see. I don't know why I dropped block there. Okay, clearly the setup needs to be better. Yeah, maybe I just boost and go Kate, because we were doing fine. Still lagging after a reload. Oh yeah, y'all aren't crazy. 33% dropped frames. Is my internet just bad today again? That's probably what it is. I hate the internet here so much. Download speed's okay. Upload is again okay. So why is OBS dropping even more? Like, it is flat out not doing well. So annoying. The heck? Sorry. It's very frustrating. I was going to check on my routers, and the app for that logged me out, and I don't have time right now to go figure out the password for that. Okay. On my end, it looks like things have now stabilized. Drop frames are quite high, but the bitrate is a bit better. Literally, as I said that, it went orange. Can you stop? And it just went red. This is ridiculous. How does this keep happening when I'm like, today is when I really need to stream? I'm gonna try restarting OBS. Give me a second, everyone. Okay, I think we're back. It's not necessarily that it's a tougher day, man. It's just I'm very tired of the internet here. This is not the first time this has happened. Hmm. If this holds, I'm going to conclude that it was just OBS spazzing out. I'm sorry, that's a loaded word, I've realized. It was OBS freaking out. Alright. Let's go ahead and boost. I'll figure it out. If any of you haven't, or are still having problems, maybe restart one more time. Apologies for asking that. No, it's totally fine, Joey. Now I have something in my eye. What a cursed stream. Evening, John. No! Ah! And now he's just probably gonna... Yep, he's gonna wait frickin' root to throw the special 2. Yeah. Ah. You know, the root is tricky enough if he decides to behave like that I'm just not going to concern myself with the solo, honestly. I literally have 2 revives expiring in the next 2 hours. Yeah, it's fine. Excuse me. Oh my god. I love when they catch you on dashbacks. Hey, Laser. I love it so much. There's a number of assumptions in that, man. Kitty is definitely overpowered. And she definitely should not come out as a 7-star in her current form. But Kitty is also very different than Hercules in that Kitty's usage rate isn't that high. Because while her skill cap doesn't justify the things that she can do, it does limit how many people try to do them. She is different than Hercules in that way. And the purpose of things like tactics in Battlegrounds and metas
and raid pools is to encourage people to play with different things and to
increase the amount of the game they engage with. And so Kitty serves a purpose there. Hey, Pablo. Hopefully that makes some sense.
ouch. I did not know he could do that, and I wasn't ready for it.
Hey, Walrus. Oof, that setup wasn't fun.
I haven't missed that punish in a little bit. Thankfully, we had the next one. I thought that purified didn't happen.
Honestly, okay. Not having access to the riposte is gonna make switching arrows harder. Not necessarily a problem. Uh, I think you might be misunderstanding something there, Min. Ultron doesn't regen energy dot with every tick. Polyamory's the way to go. I mean, for a game like this. It wouldn't be particularly interesting, Laser. You'd have to remove Hercules to get a meaningful look at any of the data. Nice, Omega. Sometimes I swear he feels faster off of those evades than others. I am gonna heal a little bit more here just to be on top of things. Yeah, there'll be at least something after this, Stark. We'll see. Whoop. I don't know why I did that. There we go. Okay. No more intercepts. Very nearly blew that. Ah. Is her usage really that high? Yes. Thanks, Mike. Evade, get hit, try to retaliate, get hit more, revive. Yeah. Any decent counters for Necropolis future Ant-Man? Um, there are decent counters, but not really good counters, no. I would take up Jabari, but I think the correct call would generally be Falcon. Uh, Forgot I lost the slow. Alright. Not getting the solo here. Ouchie. But I can live with this. Yeah, Sim. I'll take it. I will take a third. This no longer sums up my Section 1 experience. That's a funny follow-up. Yeah, personal preference. I find Falcon incredibly boring, and I like Jabari a lot. I also think she's an okay dual threat in Battlegrounds. Um, but Falcon is very powerful, and just turning things off is very good. Why did I not start with that? I forgot about the power steal. Because we're in section 2 now. Throw it. I want my trauma. Thank you. Weird sentence to say out loud. I don't know why I cashed out there. I shouldn't have. I guess technically I'm not in terminal velocity just yet, but oh, she's just gonna let them both expire. That's so mean. America. Ouch. I was just thinking, don't crit, don't crit, don't crit, and it crit. I can't. Hmm. So you're saying the refresh is messing with the potency. I tried to repro that bug at one point with Kate and wasn't able to because everything looked correct. I'll give that another shot tomorrow. Because that should not be happening. It shouldn't matter. Hey, Campo. Alright. Let me send this one real quick. I believe I had the hubris to heal against her after having a good run. You freaking mind. This is the most ridiculous thing I've seen in a long time. Has she not thrown in a special this entire fight? And now we're into the second set of charges? Screw you. I
Alright, breathe.
Am I reaching the second set of charges very quickly? It certainly does feel like it. It's very likely because Quicksilver's combos take about 50% longer than a standard champion's. Don't do that. You also can't bait out specials. There is a certain amount of that. I do think most of it is literally the combo thing. I think that's what is sticking out to Sim, though, because it feels very different if you're used to Necropolis. You're used to the feeling of, like, I do this many combos, the opponent throws their special. If I'm having trouble with them throwing their special, then I hit into their block a couple times. I knock them down with a heavy. I do something, but, like, the fight moves at X pace. The fact that Quicksilver, both in his base combos and in hitting into block, moves at about 0.6x definitely has an effect on how the fight feels. Thanks, Campo. That one was better. In that one, you could see shades of how MSD got his solo. I'm not doing that, but, like, yeah. First run and that one were pretty good. I'll take those.
Why did that activate the power steel? That was a different dimension. There we go, that was good.
Woo! Alright. I'm annoyed that I used big revives, and I'm annoyed that I used a few precious potions here. But I am not annoyed at the overall revive count. I do not regret bringing Quicksilver. Oh, okay. They are, going back to your message, man, where you say Chavez is definitely a way to do heavies, they are somewhat related. And that is like, that's the problem with the old AI system, is that it is or was like trying to do everything all the time. Meaning that in the same frame, it's rolling to see if it should do a heavy, in the same frame that it's rolling to see if it should throw a special. And so if somebody is biased towards heavy attacks, they are necessarily biased against specials. It is a zero-sum game. They cannot do both. Yeah. So like it makes sense. It's something that we want to change about the AI going forward, but that requires larger rewrites. To give a bit of a glimpse into the problem with our AI is that it is not an AI. It is not an artificial intelligence. It doesn't actually know what's going on. It is only ever trying to figure out what's going on right now based on the information it can observe right now. It doesn't know how long ago it was that it last threw a special. It doesn't know how long ago you last threw a special. There's some under the hood stuff where it's like you throwing specials and knocking it down and doing damage to it does make it a bit more aggressive for a while. There's kind of a variable that ticks up and down based on that. But it doesn't actually know when you last threw a special or what it last did, right? It has no concept of memory at all. And so that means that when we run into things where it's like, wow, I have literally been in the corner for 45 seconds
and she has only thrown heavies. Why the F is she not throwing specials? It's because the AI doesn't know. It is just in the same situation that it was in over and over and over again. And that situation is you're blocking, so I'm going to throw a heavy over and over and over again. Which is obviously frustrating. So, a long term project for us is basically building the ability for the AI to know what has happened. Because then we can tell it things like, okay, you haven't baited or you haven't thrown a special in X amount of time since you got to a bar of power, since you were able to. That means that it's time. Like, forget all of the things that you are trying to do. It's been long enough. Go for it. We can't do that now, but long term, we will. Anywho. Ouchie. Come on, buddy. Ouch. I think I just lost it. Yep. I did not get the crossfire. No. That's fine. I'm not doing the quit out cheese thing. I mean, DNA was. I don't know when he was giving that explanation, but I think there's a decent chance that he was giving that explanation based on the fact that we basically said that in the forum post. I'm just going significantly more in depth. Okay. Yes and no, Joey. Like the goal is with those kinds of changes, throw it. The goal is with those kinds of changes that the things we rely on wouldn't change. Ouch.
Throw, please. That was my fault. I shouldn't have done that. Dang. Oh. Whew. What just happened? Throw it, please. I need you to throw this. Thank you. I don't think I'm going to solo this. I'm not really on pace for it, but this is very steady, so I don't really care. Thought that first hit landed. My bad. Come on, buddy, please. Thank you. And it's been a while since I played this fight. You can tell I'm a little out of practice. Missed a lot of heavies here. I don't know why I did that.
Or maybe it's a solo. Ah. Hey. Yeah, they're looking into it, Pablo. I literally just screamed. Was that when I almost didn't knock him down in time? Woof. Would it help if you shared? No, not really, because honestly, like, I'm not supposed to talk about it too much, but, like, they found the thing. It's going to become more random in the future. I just don't know when, so I shouldn't talk about it too much. But They figured it out. What would have to happen to get the class-based crystals to not be on a 3-day cycle? I do get where you're coming from there. Like if the last day instead you bought a selector where you could get one of the three, and we put that on Sunday. That does feel like how we would design it from the ground up now, given the way some other things work. I don't know how much work that would be, though. That does make sense, Easy, given how Sherry's built, but that is funny. Thanks, Campo. I'm glad. Not on pace. I mean, I guess I just didn't realize how much time I'd wasted at the beginning. Carl does not understand the words not on pace. Oh, so worth the ascension. Liked Kate for this over-absorbing man. You do you, man. He is so good for that fight. I haven't done it with anyone else. Not since testing it. I'm not going to. Thanks, everyone. Uh, it's not nearly as much of it's not as much of a disadvantage on net as a lot of players think it is all I can say now, Pablo. But yeah, it's getting looked at. At.
Okay. On this path, you need the cold snap first. In hindsight, that makes sense.
And I hadn't crit. Okay. Lessons learned. Cold snap first, then immediately switch to tranquilize. Cool. Thanks, Josh. Nice, Ghost Runner.
I know I don't have max fragilities, but we're just doing so little damage over time. Need to start cooking. Woo! I wasn't sure I had that, Dex. Oh, come on, throw it. Thank you. Ah. That was a good one. Not quite a solo ace, because I went in and took off less than 1% the first time, but I think it's safe to say I corrected. Yeah, that is... I hate that it's a good tip, Pablo, because that means that something in the code isn't working the way that it's supposed to, so... Thank you for it, but I will chase that down. Correct to assume the CCP, excuse me, embargoes also cover champion rebalances, notes, and playtest. No, we've discussed before the CCP doesn't exactly function like a beta test area. Do they get access? Yes, they do get access because of like internal timing reasons. It doesn't necessarily work out to the full 2 months that we had originally envisioned. It's usually something more like 6 weeks or so, and then for the last 2 weeks of that, it's too late to make changes anyway, just to be blunt. But yes, there is a period where like they see the proposed changes nice and early, usually, hopefully. The goal is they see the changes nice and early, and then we try and put that on the beta server pretty soon after, so that they get at least some time. Then the embargo comes up. What we're trying now is to have the embargo late enough that there is time to action on feedback if we see any problems, and then the videos can be made. I talked about all of the various problems with that before. A lot of them are still there, but yes, they do get to participate in that process. Holden rank 3, Photon selected Shuri from Necro rank 2, her and a Meister. Jeez, yeah, that's going well. What's my pathing with Guardian? Probably using Kate for Valkyrie purely from a damage standpoint. My plan for Guardian is Gamora. Red Guardian is definitely Kate. That could be Gamora. I might try Gamora. I feel like that could be fun. And then Sam will be Kate again. We've done that one before. Dragon Man definitely works with Kate, right? But like sometimes he does just go red and is rude. So I might actually try Quicksilver just to like have fun with that again. I think that could be cool. Nova will be Carl again. And then who am I forgetting? Cap? Yeah, Cap will be Kate. That should be simple. Yeah, let me scroll back up to what you asked, Martin. I must have missed it. I always feel like they know when I'm trying to block bait. Yeah, that's the thing. They don't. It's frustrating, but they don't. Yeah. But like in the future, when we have a better system, that could be something we could intentionally code in, right? Like where there's, you know, if the AI does a medium into your block, then there's like X chance that they go for the heavy immediately, and Y chance that they then continue the combo into lights. And like we could control it each step of the way, so that when they do a full combo into the block, like that last combo ender, we could directly tune the chance right there that they go for the combo ender as opposed to the heavy. Because you do want
both some percentage of the time. Obviously, our lives are easier if they go for the heavy more often, but the game should have some randomness.
It's just a question of exactly how much.
How surreal is it that you're using champs you created in game content on a video game you play? It is really weird. It is really weird on a regular basis. I'm not gonna lie. I think I just do this with Kate again because it can be a solo. And then maybe if I do really well and die towards the end, then I take over with Quicksilver just because he has such quick access to despair, no pun intended. Yeah, no problem, John. Yeah, it definitely seemed to work, Pablo, which is annoying because that means, yeah, like I said, there's at least one flag somewhere in the code that is not doing what we thought it was doing. Yeah, well, and things can be worse or better, Sans. Like I do think it is objectively true that the AI is more likely to light intercept you right now than it was 6 months ago. Um, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we did anything, and it doesn't necessarily mean that we can do anything yet. We have to take this slow. We have some cool things in the pipeline, but it's tough. Yeah, Sans has the list. Too far gone. Still not done with Necro. I've been taking my time, Slay. How's it going? Yeah, I've heard good things about Adam. I thought about bringing him, but I think Gamora is probably better for the rest of the path. Am I opening the Titan? I am not. Yeah, I'm sure Odin would work for Guardian. Mine always gravitates to noticing the negative interactions. Yeah, that's pretty basic confirmation bias. It absolutely happens. Has it been said who designed Bullseye? Yeah, same designer as Gladiator and Sandman. Who am I picking from the selector? It's going to be tough, but I think it has to be Chavez. Like, it's her or Mantis. Those are the two I'm missing. And I'm not happy not to have either, but I think it has to be Chavez. Oh, I'm not boosted. 1 second. All right, let's get rolling. Whoa, 2 in a row. Okay, that's really gonna harsh our vibe in this fight. Now I'm feeling bad. What is going on? Not blaming the game. This is clearly in my head, but like, what the hell? How did that not count as punishing his special? Or sorry, his heavy. You are cheating. Alright, well I blew this one. What? Oh! I hate stutter stepping so much. Let me just report that for the very end. Hmm. Oh, you... Yeah, and we just died to the flame at the very beginning. Cool. Love that. Let's see how this does.
I'm sorry, what the hell? No, please, try and hit me with it. You're gonna throw it immediately after the trauma expires. Yep. And again, as far as any of us can tell, there is no code that tells the AI to do that.
Honestly, I'm just gonna stick to that though.
As long as the AI doesn't.
Throw its special 2 exactly as I'm dropping back. This is fine.
Thanks, Mom. Dang it. Forgot to knock him down. Alright, now we die.
Yep. Take care, Dot. I don't really agree with you, BT. like BG's got all of the attention for an entire year, and now we're focusing on war for like 2 months. And it's whoa, 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 whoa. Don't forget about BG's. Like, come on, dude. I I hate to play this card, but like I really feel like sometimes in this game, Battlegrounds falls into the category of like when you're used to privilege, equality feels like oppression. Battlegrounds is doing fine. It will get more, but it's doing fine.
Done. Perfect. Not perfect. Forgot about that. All right. Well, so far we're at -8%. This is why I was tempted to use Quicksilver down here, because good God, is missing health a pain in the butt at this level. Dude.
Ah.
No, I did see you appreciate it, BT. I see a lot of that, and I think Battlegrounds is fine.
I don't think that, like, I don't think it needs to be the best rewards in the game. Um, but I am glad that they liked the post. They did help with it. Yeah, the tier 1 tier 2 separation is a very big thing. It's spend time. Arena needs love. I think the next time Arena gets love, it may be losing some units. I'm on board with that, Aiden. I'm completely okay with Battlegrounds getting shakeups. Like, the mode was built for iteration, and it hasn't changed a lot recently. I'm just not particularly worried about the rewards. I get that, BT. Like, I mean, that's exactly why we don't do minimums. I don't think it's worth it. Our ask is that you get to Gladiator Circuit every month. And honestly, I don't feel like the minimums were ever worth it, and I don't think rewards should ever get to a point where they are. Like, I saw that same ask from somebody in another alliance who was like, we have a high Battlegrounds minimum. It's hard to justify with rewards as they are. And my immediate response was good. Like, I didn't say it, but like internally I was like, good. Minimums are not a fun thing in alliances. Like, I don't feel like we should be consciously making design decisions to fix minimums not feeling worth it. I That's a really hard sell for me. I do think the rewards should feel good. Sure. But like, the same way that the very top of war rewards are never going to fully reflect how much work it is to come in first, second, third, even 10th relative to the ones right below them. The same way, it's never going to truly ever be worth it, worth the effort to come in at the very top of Battlegrounds, either if you're looking at like Celestial or the Alliance or solo rewards. What you're getting is the competition, right? Especially for the Celestial side of things. Those should be good, but they shouldn't actually be worth the time. They can't be. It would break the game. And on the Alliance and solo event side of things, like, some of the strongest, loudest feedback when Battlegrounds first dropped was that those were too good and too pay to win. So it's, how much do we want to go back to that, you know? It wasn't really a joke, too far gone, but let me explain why before you get too scared. The lead econ designer has said exactly this as well. there is an upper limit on how many grindable units can be in the game. At the moment, almost all of them are in arena. And that means that it's very, very difficult for the economy team to put units anywhere else. Like, those units could easily be in incursions. More units could be in Thronebreaker. Like, there could be units in Thronebreaker EQ difficulty, right? They could be in other places. But to be in other places, they have to come out of arena. And I realize that sounds terrible to the people who grind arena all the time. But what those people need to realize is that they are actually a pretty small minority. I think in the engaged community, it's often fashionable to view the person who gets every unit milestone in arena as the like everyman of MCOC, but that's not really true. It's not that many people. And you would probably increase access to units. Sorry, it's not just a choice thing. Let me clarify further. It's also because a lot of people actually can't even really get infinite streak. Developing players don't have the roster. Grinding arena efficiently and easily is something pretty much reserved to players who are already at the end game. And so the game would probably be healthier overall if more of those units were in other places. But you can't leave the units in arena and add more in other places. Because some people will do all of it, because units are valuable, and then the game makes less money. And the game does need to make a certain amount of money. And that means you have to be very careful with the hard currency, which is what units are. So hopefully that adds some clarity. The idea would not be to reduce the amount that you could farm, but to diversify it and make arena less of an almost requirement for people who want a lot of units. Best reward will be the game mode that receives the most recent buff. Pretty much. And unless y'all want to start shelling out a whole lot more money so we can hire a lot more econ designers, there's always going to be one that's ahead of another. I think so, Aiden, because we're not terribly concerned about where we land as an alliance. We just want everybody to put in a certain amount of effort, and getting to Glad Circuit does that. But the main reason that we ask for Glad Circuit is not so much the number of fights that it takes to get there, as we feel you are not doing right by your own account if you don't get to Glad Circuit every season. Hey, Wilson. Thanks. Appreciate you here. As long as the other rewards in Arena stay the same? Yeah, I don't think anybody is suggesting the rest of Arena would get hit.
Why did I forget? That hurt. No! No, I forgot he did a power drain. All right. Alright, well that was tragic. 1 second. I know I'm gonna take damage here, but I just very badly want this True Strike.
Alright. I don't own a Shuri. I just recently got a Shuri, but I wanted to bring Gamora for this path instead. She's rank 3.
Hey, where'd my cruelties go? I forgot he removes buff. Jesus. Okay, well this is not worth it, because it means if you even fail once, you lose the True Strike. Alright, we're going back to Kate. I hate saying that, but... Why did I do that? Ouch.
Okay. I messed up at the end there. But not bad for a bad run. I will probably just use her again. I'm not gonna lie. That worked. Psycho Man's damage is actually good, BT, just a minute and a half later. I don't really have an answer to the art budget question, man. I think you misunderstand Too Far Gone. It would probably just mean that the later milestones were removed entirely. But even then, I don't agree with your premise. Because I think what you're forgetting is score inflation. You're like, oh, it's more work to get the same units, except it's profoundly less work to get the same units than it was a year ago or 2 years ago. Our rosters are bigger. They award more points per fight. Arena has gotten dramatically more efficient, and we haven't made the points higher, when realistically, we could have. We would have been justified in doing so. Ant-Man is solid, yeah. Any hint on what my March champion's gonna be? None that I haven't already given.
Learned my lesson. Bro. Thank you.
Can I repeat the hints? No. And who said I said them? There we go. Thanks, Tark. Yeah, I was fine with the first one. Should I save $100 for March? That's something you're willing to do? Might be a good idea. How cool. I am very fond of my next champion. I was medium fond of them when I started. I am very fond of them now. I know, Aiden. I know. Thanks, Tufargon. I appreciate it. Did I miss the snow this winter? Maybe a little bit. Like, I don't miss the deep snow. But it's pretty, you know? There's a peace to a snowy winter that you don't really get down here. Like, it gets cold. It's still... There's still some peaceful, but it's like... I don't know, there's something about snow that makes it less obvious that a lot of things are dead, if that makes any sense. I do miss it at times. Is Hurt good for Necropolis? I wouldn't recommend it. Like, his damage is okay, but the fights are long enough and complicated enough that other people can surpass him on damage, and his immortality doesn't work. So, like, what's the point? Hey, Ray. Am I happy with how Gladiator turned out? Hasn't there been news on Gladiator? I'm not forgetting, right? No, I'm not ranking my children men. Ouch. That's Guardian. Nothing past rebalance announcement. Right, but like, it's announced that he's getting buffed. Do you expect me to say in that context that yes, I think he turned out perfectly?
Jerk.
Nice try.
Come here. No! Oh, pain. Dead. Okay, alright, that was my fault. I honestly got into a lull. Alright, she'll finish him off. Hmm. Ah. Am I finishing tonight? No, 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 no. Are my boosts gone yet? When they are, I'm done. What time am I starting back up tomorrow? Probably after work. Okay, we got one more fight in us. Whew. Archangel is okay for damage, but there's an ability accuracy floor for most of the fights that really stops him from being himself. Gallon can be used for long fights, but isn't exceptional. You don't like the direction they went for the buff. But, like, the ceiling didn't come down, Slay. It went up. Oh, don't start, BT. Sans is here. Let's not go down that. $455 Chavez. Hey, it's what I got. It's why I'm probably picking her from the selector. Ya poop. Alright. This is probably going to be the worst fight on this path for me.
Wow, you couldn't even tell that was a special. Whoops. I forgot. Alright, let's get that reset. Oh, that's bad. Come on. Alright, we're still gonna lose him, but got a bit more damage. No. No, why did I do that again? How did I do that again? How was I so stupid? Alright, come here. That's fine.
Take care, BT. How bad is Valk with Strife? I don't know. Like, there's not really much to Valk. You just... She's going to kill you if you block her specials. And so the fight tends to be a bit shorter. But that's about it. I personally don't... Whoa, that was weird. I don't see much use healing against her. Because of that, like, she's one of the hardest fights in here to run out of charges on.
And so I just don't really think it matters. Why did I do that? Whoa, okay. Dumb. Alright, let her throw it. Alright, this one isn't going to cost her any power. Yep, we know she's going to throw it. That's fine. Now, please. Let me hit your block. Nope. Okay.
And that's how the fight can go wrong. Oh.
Alright, we got one more minute. Alright, we bought ourselves some time. Okay, now we get her to back off. We don't punish here because... There we go. Now we got ourselves quite a bit of time. That's a full minute. Nope, back up. And now we die.
I know you can dex that special, but I do not have it. Thanks, Senor. I'm glad somebody appreciated that. Nah, I don't wish I had Doom here. That would mean I was using Doom. Can Absorbing Man do Arcus? Yes, that's what I did. It wasn't a solo, but like it's a pretty comfortable 2 or 3 shot, depending on how big your Carl is. Alright, I'm gonna call it here. This went longer than I intended, so I've missed my Duolingo for the 3rd time this week. I was doing so well. But I will catch y'all soon. Take care, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Looking forward to the end.